would be European Tour title number 33, but he's got two very significant obstacles standing in his way. First of all, Suljovic, a man he has encountered time and time again over the last 5-6 years or so, especially on the European Tour stage. And if he comes through this particular examination, he has the, well, very sizable obstacle of José de Sousa, the relentless force who just will not lie down this weekend, the number 15 seed, getting set backstage for what will be his first ever European Tour final. A man who's had success on the PDC circuit but not on the European Tour stage. It's de Sousa who lies in wait.
Meant to throw first. Game on.
So either Suljovic or Van Gerwen will provide the opposition for de Sousa in the final of the European Darts Grand Prix 2020. The stage is set perfectly. The outcome of this match, I think, depends on many things. One of them being whether Michael Van Gerwen, if he is taken to the brink, and if he has to withstand the pressure of match darts again, as he has done twice already today, whether he'll be able to do so, or whether Mensur can just keep this dream alive and keep his quest for a fourth European Tour title extending into a final showdown with de Sousa later on. Paul Nicholson alongside me, Rob Malarkey, for this, the second semi-final. I think it's safe to say they've got a lot to live up to as far as the first semi is concerned. An epic between White and de Sousa, 7 legs to 6, and maybe, just maybe, this one could go to 13 legs as well, Paul.
I wouldn't be surprised if you got your breath back after that one.
I was just chatting to Dan afterwards, and I know sometimes you have knee-jerk reactions to these sort of things, but I'm struggling to think of a more compelling and absorbing, high-octane semi-final on a European Tour stage.
Well, let's offer it to the public, shall we? If you're watching this from BBC TV, why don't you let us know of your favourite semi-final, and maybe one that would rival what we've just seen. Or maybe we're in for a semi-final that will rival it on the same bill. Right now, Suljovic has had the better start of the two, and he can get rid of this leg in 12.
59.
And if he's going to beat MVG here, he's got to be very, very clinical on the doubles. Now, against Rob Cross, he was gifted 2 visits at a double most of the time.
32.
And he needed the second visit all of the time. Apart from the bullseye that he hit when he hit the centre hole. Second visit here. Again, in that corner, just having a bit of bother finding it cleanly.
Would not rule this out in the slightest. MVG kicks off with a ton 70 checkout. The third of the weekend, would you believe? We've had a glut of them, and MVG has delivered in the very first leg of this semi-final. As said, the outcome of this match might well depend on how Michael Van Gerwen withstands pressure. I think he'd love to put himself in a position where he's not under any pressure. I think also much depends on Mensur Suljovic and how he approaches his finishing today, because 47 missed darts at a double coming into this semi-final. He's had a cluster already. It's going to be a concern. He needs to eradicate that if he's to give himself the best possible chance, and I think the outcome of this match rests largely on that.
I think it really does. I've already seen evidence all the way through today that he has not taken doubles easily.
70.
He gifted Michael Van Gerwen that chance at the 170. He shouldn't have even got a shot at it. That is the key to that first leg. You still got to hold your hands up and say, great shot.
He must have been hopeful / confident of coming back. Anyway, 4 missed darts at a double in that one takes his tally for the weekend to 51.
I love that you're counting that.
83.
I remember a Mulheim tournament where Suljovic played against Van Gerwen, and I billed it as the headbutt celebration against the right hook. And that weekend I remember there being 22 headbutt celebrations from Mensur Suljovic. I had a bit of a quest that weekend, but the headbutt celebration seems to have been lost in the last couple of years, which is a shame. Double 14,
which would have been ironic, or maybe coincidental.
74.
Now then, Mensior, what are you going to do here? Straight forward, or will it be 2 double 16? Now, he's not had a great deal of joy in that corner of the board, so he may just go for it. 6 for double 14, as you correctly called, Paul.
It's always in the eyes. Oh, but outer ring stuff. Get that abacus going, Rob.
Game's on the second leg.
That's more like from MVG. A look of bemusement on his face, but 2-0 to the good already. Early break, and he backs it up after again more missed darts at double for Mensior Suljovic. Very impressive numbers from Mensior, though. Looking at the first 9 average that he's posted in the build-up to this semi-final, 115.86 as opposed to MVG's 106.8. The 3-dart average just a shade higher as well. In fact, 3 points higher or so. 11 180s from Mensior this weekend, which is uncharacteristic, I would venture.
I think that might be a sign of small changes he's making. I think the moulded flights he's using is giving him a slightly better angle of entry, more consistent angle of entry in the board. And the grouping on the 60 has been improved, but with those small changes you do get complexities with going for the outer ring and the bullseye. So maybe that's where this inconsistency has come from on the outer ring.
Well, I mentioned it's been a while since MVG last tasted success on the European Tour in Austria at the Austrian Darts Open last year in May of 2019. Mensior also last tasting success in Austria last year at the Austrian Darts Championship.
439.
So another similarity between the pair of them, but it's 32 European Tour titles to 3.
Yeah, Mensior stopped Michael from doing the Austrian double, and that was the best final of last year. Oh, wonderful. Just as good as Michael van Gerwen's last 3, which has given him this shot.
Hold your horses. Oh. Yeah, pursed lips from MVG. I just would not have been surprised in the slightest having taken out that 167. Now then, Mensior, how's he look this time? 6 missed darts at a double in this match already. Can't afford too many more. That's more like it.
That is more like it. He has the formula. He can stay with Van Gerwen in scoring. The stats told us this before the game began. He can stay with him. He can be better than him. He's got to be clinical on those doubles. That first dart has been so good.
Yeah,
from Suljovic.
It's been very much. Oh, that's so well. I say unlucky. I mean, there's an element of misfortune about that. But maybe had he thrown that with a bit more purchase, I mean, it seemed to be okay, didn't it?
That was a proper collision, that one.
Well,
there's the reason why you stand outside of the exclusion zone when you're playing Mensior Suljovic. Don't go anywhere near him, otherwise you might get a left heel towards your knees.
96.
Michael is very impetuous when it comes to getting on the hockey. He does like to get there fast. But with Mensior, he's got to take that extra
86.
second to wait for him to clear.
I don't think Mensior concerns himself too much with how he's been faring against a particular opponent. He may be aware that Michael van Gerwen has bossed their recent meetings. 8 wins out of 9 for MVG, including the most recent one just last month on the Autumn Series on the Pro Tour, 8-1.
I think his record against Steve Beaton sticks in his mind. Doesn't like playing the Adonis, that's for sure.
Yeah, he lost to Steve here in 2016 in the second round. That was a year after he'd made the semi-finals at the Glass Palace, and in that run to the semis in the Glass Palace in 2015 he beat MVG in the second round, and both of them produced astonishing numbers. 109.7 plays 111.3.
97.
One of the best games in history on the European Tour. That it was incredible.
It was one of my early memories from the European Tour. That
Mensior require 88.
Standout performance, standout encounter.
Does he get a shot at double 14 from here? 9. As in no. Bull as in ya. As in 9.
What we require 102.
102 for MVG.
No shot at double 16. I like that route.
Because it's just a little switch, isn't it?
All in a
61.
straight line.
As you require
51,
25.
57, 32. Put a ruler between the three of them. But now, we're looking at a 2-2 game. If.
Oh, Mensur, surely not.
He was leaning on that dart, and I had no faith
Michael, you require
that was going to be
41.
hit. He's got real problems in that bottom left corner.
Yeah,
Oh, that is a brilliant dart from MVG, because that first one was right in the way. He didn't move, but even Michael with a 3-1 lead is not happy.
Game on.
21 darts, holder's throw for Michael van Gerwen, and he's got away with that one as well. Still leads with that, or by virtue of that early break with the 170 checkout. May well be that ultimately proves the difference between the two.
59.
I think you've got to factor into the equation Suljović's travails on double so far. 1 out of 10 so far.
140.
You can only get away with that sort of stuff for so long.
It's a steady game at the moment. It could have been so much better, but
Well,
right now it's evening out around the 90 to 95 mark, and there is room for improvement here. But it's the fact that they've missed. That's why it's so dramatic.
Yeah, and let's not forget the first 3 or 4 legs was average, I thought. Well, not average, it was not particularly thrilling stuff from White and De Sousa, but it just sparked into life at the 5-6 leg mark.
You were talking about that Suljovic MVG match that had those huge stats. We've had some of the best European Tour games on this stage, obviously because it's hosted many an event. I remember an event back in 2012 that was won by Adrian Lewis, his solitary European Tour victory, and beat Ian White in that final.
60.
But in the quarterfinals, it was Wade against Whitlock. That's one of the best games I've ever seen, because it was 105 average each, and it was toe-to-toe from start to finish. It was quite an astonishing game.
Just look what MVG has left here.
100.
He may not need to be so aggressive, but he might just be thinking about it. Well, we'll never know.
96.
That's fine. He wanted to leave 36. But now it's up to the Austrian to shrink that number.
99. Michael, you require 74.
Joe Cullen and Mike Kyvenhoven, the other 2 players to post a 170 checkout today.
Yeah, it's on the 5th leg.
But it's a 74 checkout there for Michael van Gerwen, and that will more than do. And there is significant daylight between the pair of them. Now it's another break of throw. 2 breaks for MVG, and after the near misses and the hard work that he had to put in to overcome both Van der Voort and Nathan Aspinall, this is a much smoother ride so far for a man chasing a 33rd European Tour title.
You can say that 180s give you confidence, but people at this level hit 180s all the time. When you're chipping 74s under pressure, that's what really gives you confidence.
85.
When you're confronted with a 74, a 76, a 78, and it's to give yourself breathing space in a game like this, and you chip it away, first attempt, that's when your heart starts to
58.
think, got this. And right now, Michael van Gerwen thinks, I've got this.
Yeah, and the other thing as well, I mentioned it was a 21 dart hold of throw for a 3-1 lead.
44.
He quickly addressed that, just to restore the balance and just get that equilibrium back.
If Van Gerwen does get through this,
85.
it's no easy cakewalk to get that 33rd title, because he has lost quite a few finals. Remember the stat about Jack Nicklaus?
108.
The fact that he won 18 major championships, but he finished 2nd in majors 19 times. We should talk about the amount of times that MVG has made finals. Not just won them, but also lost them as well.
52.
And out of the amount of European Tour events we've had, that's astonishing.
Yeah, this is the 81st,
Michael van Gerwen.
and it could well culminate in a Michael van Gerwen title once again.
Well, surely Suljovic is not going to get himself out of jail again, like he did against Jamie Hughes. He was 5-0 down and won that 6-5.
140.
If he can do it from here, then he may be able to bring Abraham Lincoln back to life.
41.
He's won the last 2 legs with 27 darts, MVG.
85.
Moving in the right direction. Mensur does look to be floundering. Needs just to get something going, and he has to do it quick.
100.
There's a start.
If he's not to win this tournament or even get through to the final, Suljovic, I think he might have unlocked something with the scoring and a little bit of grinding during the week before Risa. I think he's going to be a big, big threat next week, but he's not out of this yet. He's only 4 legs behind.
Yeah, and it was in Risa 4 years ago where he won his first European Tour title. 2016, he also took the honours in Denmark a couple of years ago and had that success in
120.
the Austrian Darts Championship in the late summer of 2019. Terrific moment for him on home soil. Tops.
100. Michael Uruguay, 41.
It keeps happening.
Far too many times. Michael van Gerwen steps in for another break.
Cash on the 7th leg, Michael van Gerwen.
Clean take on double
Cash
16.
Michael to throw
6-1.
first. Game on.
There can't be many players who have won in 3 different countries on the European Tour. Michael has. Obviously the Netherlands,
80.
Germany, Austria, Gibraltar. There's not many people who have actually won 3.
Yeah, we mentioned that Ian White was looking to join an elite group of people to have won 4 European Tour titles. That, of course, is now over for another tournament. Van Gerwen, though, 13 darter, 14 darter, 14 darter in the last 3 legs. This is more like it.
Sneaky good.
83.
Not explosive. We're not seeing those, the odd 10 in there. That's what we used to get from him, and that's why his averages were so high.
135.
He's not scaring 9s as much as he used to. But he's getting the job done.
81.
Yeah, very contrasting semi-finals, aren't they? This one looks to be a bit of a cakewalk for Michael van Gerwen.
108.
Very, very good. And that will be for the final. Is it important that he can get through this with a lot of breathing space, because De Souza went through after a war, and Van Gerwen gets through via a 6-leg gap rub.
Yeah, and I think he's kept plenty in the tank, hasn't he, for the final itself. That